During this global pandemic, we're sheltering in place as we should be. But when you experience narcissistic abuse, lockdown can seem unbearable, and home can feel like anything but safe. So in this video series, I will be sharing 10 tips to help you not just cope, but even thrive while in close quarters with a narcissist. Narcissistic abuse can show up in many forms, including physical, sexual, and financial. But in this video, I'll be focusing on tips that will support your mental and emotional health. Understand that no form of abuse is okay. But if you or someone who is dependent on your care is experiencing physical or sexual abuse, or if you feel a threat to your physical safety, please get help now. I've included some resources in the description box. Now, before we get started, let's review some of the signs of narcissistic abuse. Threats toward you, your loved ones, including pets or your children, or your possessions. Monitoring or controlling the time you spend connecting with others. Damaging, stealing, or hiding your belongings. Raging and then blaming you, saying that you deserve what happened. Saying things that make you question your perception of reality or mental competence. This is also called gaslighting. Belittling, shaming, or humiliating you, such as calling you names. Withholding affection or acknowledgement in order to punish you. Sabotaging your efforts or relationships in order to gain revenge or the sense of an advantage. Showing no regard for your feelings or needs. Disregarding your boundaries by looking through your things like your phone or your mail, or blocking your movement, following you, or denying your physical privacy. Spreading malicious gossip or lies about you to other people. Wow, so after reviewing that list, which is not exhaustive, by the way, there's no question why being in close quarters with someone who displays those types of behavior can be detrimental to your mental and emotional health. And I also want to point out that while the narcissist might be your spouse or your partner, this person could also be your parent, a sibling, a roommate, or anyone else. Also know that especially when physical abuse is not present, it can be a challenge to feel certain that what you're experiencing is actually abuse. So I would encourage you to consider the frequency of the behavior and whether or not you sense malicious intent or you feel manipulated or demeaned. And ultimately, if you experience multiple instances of these behaviors in your relationship and you feel that you are in an emotionally unsafe environment, trust your gut and consider these tips. Tip number 1 is to develop and maintain a healthy mindset through meditation and affirmations. You've probably heard of meditation. You know it's good for you and a really great way to practice mindfulness. But if you're anything like me, you really struggle to be consistent with meditation and just taking the time to sit still. So I want to point out a few of the benefits of meditation to really encourage you to get started and to stay consistent. And I'm going to read these so that I get them all to you. So, reducing stress and anxiety, making you physically healthier, increasing emotional stability, and getting you in touch with your intuition. So bottom line is just get started. Ideally, you would meditate twice a day for 20 minutes each day, but take baby steps. Start where you can and build your way up. Just get started. Now, especially if you are thinking hopeless or intrusive thoughts, or if you're experiencing belittling or shaming or name calling, affirmations can really help. If you aren't familiar, an affirmation is a positive, empowering thought that can really challenge those negative thoughts and begin to rewire your brain so you can create the change that you want to see in your life. So here are a few of my favorite affirmations to help you get started. The first one is, all things come together for good. I say that one quite often. Another one is, I am a unique and beautiful soul. And the third one, I know and trust my mind and intuition. It's really great to write or speak affirmations, but depending on the circumstances, it can also be very helpful if all you feel comfortable doing in that moment is just saying them silently to yourself. Now, I love collecting affirmations, so I'd love to know if you have a favorite one, and if you're up for it, share it in the comments section. I'd love to see it. Tip number 2 is to support your immune system with rest, good nutrition, breath work, and physical activity. So narcissistic abuse can really take a toll on your physical health. And during this time, we really want you to have the strongest immune system possible. So I would encourage you to get 7 hours of sleep every night and stay hydrated, as well as eat lots of fruits and vegetables. You also want to practice breath work. And breath work is any type of breathing exercise or technique. Breath work not only improves your emotional health, but it also lowers your stress levels. And there are many different types of breathing techniques. I'm going to share one with you right now, and that is called 4-7-8 breathing. So let's try it. So the first step of 4-7-8 breathing is to gently exhale from your mouth. That wasn't very gentle, but you get the point. And the next thing that you're going to do is close your mouth and inhale through your nose while you count to 4. Then you're going to hold your breath for the count of 7. And then exhale through your mouth for a count of 8. And when you inhale again, you're starting a new breath cycle. So you want to practice at least 4 complete breathing cycles to really get the most out of this technique. I try this quite often, and I will tell you, it really does help. Breathing seems like such a simple, basic thing, but you'd be surprised how often we go through the day sort of contracting our stomach and not really breathing in and out deeply and relaxing our body. And finally, to support your immune system, you'll want to practice physical activity for at least 20 minutes a day. This can be something as simple as walking. Of course, at this time, if you're walking outdoors, be sure to cover your face, but it can be any kind of physical activity you want. Again, ideally for 20 minutes a day. You can walk in place, you can dance, hop up and down, do jumping jacks. You can follow an exercise video online, anything you want. Tip number 3 is play. Did you know that play is so very important for our mental and emotional health, especially for adults? So play is tip number 3. You really want to take time as often as you can to do something that has no purpose, no true meaning, except to just let your mind wander, whether it is coloring or doodling or painting something or making up a song, reading, writing. You can tell the things that I like to do, but really the possibilities are endless. Now, I can hear you saying, Rashida, all of this sounds good, and I can meditate and I can play every day and drink water and jump up and down and, get 7 hours of rest every day, every night. But what do I do if this person targets me and leaving the house just is not an option? Well, first, let me say that the tips we've covered so far absolutely will help you to protect your mental and emotional health, not just during the lockdown, but at any point along your healing journey. But to answer your question that you didn't really ask, that I just made up, in the next video, I'm going to share some tips on how you can respond to and interact with the narcissist, as well as some tips on how to process your anxiety and what to do when you feel that you're under emotional attack. So if you found this video helpful, and I really hope that you did, please do like the video and subscribe as well as turn on your notifications so that you can know when more content is available. All right, see you in the next video.